Welcome back, fam. We are doing an old school makeup tutorial voiceover style featuring Natasha Denona Mini Glam. I was going through my vanity and was like, yep, let's use this. But before we get into the tutorial, I just really quickly want to share my Bible verse of the day because it really resonated with me and I wanted to share in case it helps someone else. So let's go. First things first, I really want to get into the Bible verse of the day. So this was not from me. It was actually from a Am member. So she left this comment on my makeup tutorial video. Yeah, OG old school makeup tutorial video. In that video, I was speaking on just some things that the Lord has been leading me to do, and how we weren't even going to go here, but here we are. Holy Spirit, let's work. I feel that a lot of people struggle with faith and believing in God just simply because they want to utilize their own logic, right? So if something doesn't make sense, if they can't wrap their head around it, if they can't have the facts and the research, they can't Google it, you can't find it on TikTok or Instagram, then it's not real. And that's not God. That's not faith. God is God. God does things that you can't even fathom. There's no logic. It's God, right? Anywho, speaking on how sometimes I've been feeling that God's been leading me and trying to tell me and guide me and show me to do things. I'm just kind of like, oh, this doesn't make any sense. I don't know. And so shout out to, I think, what is it? Hadasha Ward 7969. She said, does not have to be logical. Whatever he tells you to do, do it. John 2:5. That's our verse of the day, all right? So, John 2:5 says, his mother said to the servants, do whatever he tells you. So, this is in the Gospels, John, and this is chapter 2. So, to give you some context, this is where Jesus changes water into wine. So Jesus is attending a wedding with his disciples and mother, and the people that are hosting the wedding, that are serving, they run out of wine. And this is very, very important just simply because, the wine at a wedding, most of the time what they would do is they would give all the good wine first while everybody is drunk, and then later on give everybody the cheap wine. So Jesus, his mom, is like, hey, son, they're out of wine. And he's looking at her like, Mom, not now. Because the thing is, Jesus is so humble and so, just so humble. Then also, too, it's not time. It just goes to show that Jesus is also operating on God's time. Like, this is Jesus, okay? But we feel that we can operate and maneuver and do things in our own time. If Jesus didn't do things on his own time and he had to wait until it was time, until God gave him the green light, what makes you think? Sorry, this just hit me. Anywho, so basically Jesus' mom is like, hey, do something, help, perform a miracle. And Jesus is kind of like, hold on, not my time. So his mother said to the servants, do whatever he tells you. And of course, that's when Jesus, gives them orders. He ends up turning the water into the wine. They bring the wine out. Everyone's happy. It's amazing. Do whatever he tells you. Whatever it is that the Lord has put on your heart, regardless if it seems logical or not, regardless if people are going to understand it or not, it does not matter what anyone else says. You know exactly what the Lord has spoken to you. So therefore, if he has told you to do something, like Jesus' mama said, do what he said. All right, we're going to start off priming the eyelid with the Smashbox Photo Primer, eye primer. Use whatever you got. You don't have to grab this one. So listen, one of my favorite ways to do eye work, skip the transition, skip all the minutia. I like to go straight in with the eyelid. And the reason being is because doing it this way, it really gives you the ability to just sculpt out your shape of your eyelid, your eye structure. Then I'm going to start going in on the outer corner in the crease with the darker shade. Please understand that I'm a no fuss girly, a no fuss makeup artist, and do not feel like you need a transition color, a crease color, an outer V color. You don't have to do all that. This is literally a 2 shadow look. Now I'm just taking a tighter brush. This is a Wayne Gosh blending brush, and I am just going in on the inner corner and the outer corner. Now,
For this part, I am taking Black Shadow from Natasha Denona Biba. This is my favorite black. It is the blackest black of life. I prefer, if I am going to do a wing, I like a smoked out wing, and I like to do it with eyeshadow, and this gives me the perfect look. And then after the fact, I can just go in and see and clean up with a makeup wipe. This is why anytime I'm doing something a little bit dramatic, working on clients, if I know I have glitter, there's a lot going on with the eyes, do the eyes first, so that way we can clean up, touch up, and not have to worry about messing up any of the foundation work that we've done. All right, so for foundation today, Dior Forever Natural Nude. I'm still upset that they don't have shade 5 in. It goes from shade 4.5 into 6W. That makes absolutely no sense. Shout out to, was it Renee? I believe so. Did a little Google search and found that there are some retailers that do still have shade 5 in, and I did find it. However, I'm just kind of like, I still have a little bit of this, but I don't want to not be able to get it again. I don't know. I don't want to get hooked on something if I can't just pop into the store and get it. Anywho, I am using one of my favorite foundation brushes. This is from Amazon. I will be sure to leave it in the description. Everything's in the description, but notice how I am pressing it into my skin, and I started in the center of my face and then worked my way out. This is my preference on how I like to apply foundation, because most of the time, the majority of the coverage is typically needed in the center of the face. And then you're going to also see that I do something very different as well. I'm not wearing concealer today. This is something that I've been doing probably for the past 2 weeks. I'm just going to get a concealer brush and take a little bit more of my foundation, and I'm just going to pull that all the way up under my eyes. Why? Because I felt like it. No, I'm just kidding. Because I just have been liking the look of it. I tested it out one day to see if I liked it. And then especially I noticed sometimes too, like concealer is always a little bit thicker consistency than a foundation, and so I like that this doesn't settle on me, it doesn't get creasy. I can set it with powder and we're good to go. So if you're someone who's maybe been struggling with concealer, try foundation. And I'll do this on sometimes my mature clients or people who just have really dry skin. Next up, we're going to bronze up a little bit with the Rare Beauty bronzer stick. I haven't used this in a long time, and I'm blending it out with a Sonia G foundation brush. Again, notice how I'm pressing. If you swipe, you are going to sometimes you can disturb your foundation and or take off too much product. So really pushing and stippling it in. Anytime you push anything into the face, into the skin, or a shadow on the lid, that's going to give you the most color payoff. Now I'm just going around my nose with an eyeshadow blending brush, and this is just to sculpt to make sure that everything is, 3D, because if you just have foundation on, the face tends to get a little bit flat. So to bring out the features and whatnot, I just like to do this because I like the structure that it adds to the face. Now we're going to set, and I am using just, a little puff. I get mine from Amazon, and I'm going to use the Makeup by Mario powder in the shade number 5. If you're someone who wants a little bit more of like that highlighted, lifted look under your eye, then you'd probably like 4.5. Shade 4.5 ain't sold in Sephora. I don't know. I was talking to the rep, and he was explaining to me that, they pick and choose like what shades are sold in stores, but if you want that, you can get it online. And then notice how I'm not adding any additional powder to the puff to go under my eyes. I'm just going to use whatever residue, just simply because I do not want it to get too much under there. I don't want it to get cakey or dry looking whatsoever. So now, this is a product that I completely forgot about. My Patrick Ta, it was the Major Sculpt. I enjoy this product. So I didn't use the cream portion today, and I should have, wasn't thinking about it, but I like the bronzer that's in this one because it ain't too cool, it's not too red, and this also is not the deepest one. So there's another one that is deeper than that. So I love that. Now I'm just going to go in with Sephora Collection Lip Liner in Molasses. This has been sold out for a minute. We don't have it in my store that I work at. It's not available online, so I pray this comes in stock very soon. And then an oldie but a goodie Fudge lip gloss, NYX butter gloss. And then after that, I'm going to throw on some eyeliner with my favorite eyeliner, Sephora Collection Liner. That's it, y'all. This is super, super simple. Please make your makeup no fuss. You don't gotta do all the things in order for it to be a complete look. Do what works best for you. You can get a pretty look with 2 shadows, some liner and mascara, and you're good. Thank you so much for watching. I hope y'all enjoyed. Cast one more net.